Hello, Austin from Dragon Co. here, and man, am I tired. Had a long weekend, been driving all day, but it's still the weekend, and I'm going to have my fun, gosh darn it. And we know what's exciting right now. With the genesis of the 5 greats and the release of the new Overdressed Standard, we have some great new starter decks. No, I'm kidding. These are wonderful, but I'm talking about Modern Horizons 2 today. Set boosters, pre-release. I opened my pre-release kits already, had a wonderful time. Blast playing this set. It is super fun. You remember what it's like having fun. It's been a year. But yeah, I was super happy with it, and I saved my box a whole 2 days so that I can open it for the benefit of whoever actually is going to watch this video, so like 3 people. But I thought it would be super fun to go ahead and do this on camera. I still get the enjoyment of opening packs. Just a couple days late, I have to control myself. It's a good exercise in self-control. Set boosters are what's available with the pre-release. They don't sell draft boosters anymore until the actual release day, which is weird. And we'll see. There's some controversy. I guess there really isn't like a whole lot of actual controversy, but my last couple set boxes have been super medium. They've been pretty mediocre. Oh, that art is so good. I like that a lot. I also really do like the purple coloring here. Whoop, throwing some stuff around. Okay, I would usually fold this in. Whatever. Like I say, I'm tired. Let's just get the packs out of the way. Packs. Yeah, but I've found that even though they have a lot of rares, you kind of get weird commons and uncommons, and my Kaldheim stuff contained way too much black, I think, and not like a lot of other colors, and so I don't know, it's in a weird spot for me. I don't know how I feel about set boosters. Maybe this set will redeem them for me, or maybe it will just be more of the same. But as long as I get enough rares, I think I'll probably be pretty good. So, which one do I start with? I mean, this one's kind of... Packs are kind of loose. Are they made in Japan or the US? Made in Japan, so these are the... Do they have the little pulley tab thing? Maybe? Yeah, they do. They have the little tear tab there. So are the rares on the wrong side? No, that's interesting. I don't remember art cards being put in like this. Maybe that's just the way they do it. Oh, that card! Look at that card. Lucid Dreams. Is that what that was called? Nils Ham. Nils Ham. Oh, that looks beautiful. I'm a fan. Okay, that's cool. And then, okay, the basics only, I believe they only come in the set or collector boosters. They don't come in draft boosters, that's for sure. Okay, so the rare isn't at the front, like original Modern Horizons Japanese print. Parcel Mirror is interesting. This is got Blue's Clues, Investigate, Crack Open, interesting Disenchant for limited, create a treasure. Let's see if I can move these over here so I can put these. I'm going to try and put these in Wooburg order. Crack Open, Hard Evidence. Actually, a surprisingly good card. It's a 3/3 that, or 0/3 that investigates. Batterbone, really tiny batter skull there. Equip 5, by the way, in case you're trying to play that in limited. Really good, but still a huge equip cost. Okay, so those are our commons and uncommons. I don't know what the theme was. Artifacts, maybe investigating, perhaps? Perhaps it was investigating, drawing cards. I don't know, but we have Carthalion. Not super playable in limited, I don't think, but very good if you do get one of the Planeswalkers. Also very good. I mean, the 3/5 for 4 is fine in limited, but 2 colors, eh. However, of course, this is amazing in Planeswalker decks, Super Friends, as it were, and they +1 loyalty ability symbol on a card that is not a Planeswalker. Very interesting. Ooh, okay, already a mythic. Already a mythic. We get Endurance, Flash, Reach, shuffle their graveyard into their library, and you can evoke it for a green card. So, exiling a green card from your hand. That's fine. I don't think it's the best one. In fact, it's easily the worst one. Stop some graveyard shenanigans, but still a cool thing to have. I really do like those ones. Ooh, Shardless Agent here. Wow, this is a fairly alright pack, I think. Shardless Agent, new to Modern. Was doing some stuff in Legacy for a while. Don't know if it's going to do a lot in Modern, but it's pretty cool. 3 mana Cascade. Late to Dinner. This is our sketch card. I honestly don't like these showcases that much. Late to Dinner is an art that I love just in general, and the sketch art looks pretty pretty cool. But I'm just not a fan of the showcase in this set in general. But that's just my preference. It's cool that they exist for sure. Ooh, okay, cool. And that's a white card, by the way. Even it is white. I mean, it's white because it's a sketch art, but it's also an actual white card. And then we have a foil old border blacksmith skill. Target permanent, and this is a food token. Target permanent gains hexproof, indestructible. If it's an artifact, it gets +2/+2. Okay, I'm going to go faster now. Now that we know a little bit about how the set boosties work, hopefully. I'm going to go a little bit faster. Oh yeah, the art card is here. Ooh, that's the Gweth, whatever her name is. Gaedrone. I didn't read that comic series. I was not playing Magic back then, but that card is still really nice looking. She is a pretty cool planeswalker. We've got a Forest, classic John Avon Forest there. Tormod's Crypt Keeper, pretty cool card. An actual, just regular blacksmith skill. Lens Flare is fine. Steelfin Whale's honestly pretty good. I've had this cast for once against me in Limited a couple times. Pretty broken. Razor Tide Bridge. These artifact lands are interesting. They're quite cool. I like them. Lazotep Channeler. Whenever you discard a card, you may pay 1 if you do a mass 1 for 2 mana. Or mass 2, sorry. That's really good. Raving Visionary. It's a looter, but with Delirium, so it's better. Ah, yes. Coin flip guy. This guy's the bundle promo, so he's not worth a whole lot. Whenever it attacks, choose a number between 1 and 5. Flip that many coins. For each flip you win, draw a card. For each flip you lose, it deals 2 damage to you. If you win 5 flips, you may cast spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. That seems pretty, I mean, it seems fine. Scourge Familiar. This is our, do we have a card from Magic's Past in that previous pack? I don't even know. I thought we were supposed to have one. Oh, it was Shardless Agent, of course. Yeah, so Scourge Familiar, discard a card, add black mana. And then we have Aramoeba. They stapled wings on a manatee, and they called it an elemental, as someone at my shop said, which is, you know, just what I do on the weekends. Steelfin Whale and foil. There's not a dedicated foil slot, I don't think. This token is a squirrel. Nice. I feel like the tokens and the art cards being flipped is weird to me, but I guess you don't accidentally see any of the contents of the pack. You got a bird token there. Flip this over. Ooh, Abundant Harvest. I know that one. She did Iris Compete. I believe it's a she, but based on the name, did the Brazen Borrower alternate art. Heather Hudson Mountain, wonderful. That stuff's great. Dark Moss Bridge, Bone Shards, pretty good removal spell. It destroys planeswalkers. We need more of that, so it's pretty good. Funnel Web Recluse, you got your Giant Spider of the set. Jewel-Like Cobra, you got your Snake of the set, but it makes mana, makes a treasure token. Foundation Breaker is actually really, really good and seems like it didn't need to exist. It's a disenchant that you can, it's a disenchant for evoke, but you can also get a 2/2 out of it if you want to. Steel Dromedary, this card is really fun and has some great synergy in the set. Enters tapped with 2 counters on it. Doesn't untap if you have counters, but you can move counters during combat. Pretty cool. Herd Baloth, whenever one or more counters are put on it, create a 4/4, so really good at that Steel Dromedary, so that's probably why they were connected in here. Calibrated Blast. Reveal cards on the top of your library to reveal an online card. Put the revealed cards on the bottom of your library. When you reveal an online card this way, it deals damage equal to that card's mana value. Interesting. Don't think that's very good. Yavimaya Elder. Classic card. Everyone likes it. You ramp and stuff. Nested Shambler. 2 of them. Judge. I have a foil and an old bordered card in my pack that are the same. All right. Squirrel. You got a squirrel. I like squirrels. I do. Garth One Eye. This art's pretty cool too. Again, I didn't read that comic, but I like that those cards are getting retold in a sense. Those characters are getting retold actually on cards this time. Everyone's favorite Plains art. I know that's just a fact. Chrome Courier, pretty good card in Limited. Ornithopter of Paradise is actually my first one of these. Just smashing 2 cards together. In fact, it's kind of like 3 cards because they added a mana from somewhere, but it's an Ornithopter, 0 mana, 0/2 flyer, and then Birds of Paradise is a 1 mana, 0/2 flyer that taps for mana. Marble Gargoyle, pretty solid Limited card. It's a Windrake with upside, and an artifact, which is part of the upside. Fairgrounds Patrol, A decent card. Soul of Migration. What does this do? Create birds. Oh, okay, but you can evoke. Okay, that seems fine. Not great. Let's see. Skyblade's Boon. Okay, you can return this from your graveyard. Seems fine. The Underworld Cookbook goes with that lady. What makes the cookbook? And I had a match where we had Braids and Necrogoyf on the field, so we were discarding and sacrificing, and one person, my opponent, got this on the battlefield, and that just ended the game for me. I was pretty dead. Okay, Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth. It's Urborg, but for forests. This didn't need to exist. I'm not sure I'm happy it exists, but I'm kind of happy I have it. Patchwork Gnomes. Discard a card, regenerate it. Classic card there. And Squirrel Sovereign in the old border. Other squirrels you control get +1/+1. It is a Squirrel Noble. He just looks so good. I'm so glad they made Squirrel Lords and Scourge Familiar, and this time in foil. Nothing too exciting, but these are some pretty cool cards. I do love the fact that these cards are complicated and synergistic and interesting as opposed to some of the other ones. This is that Converge white removal spell. Prismatic Ending. There we go. That's what they call it. Very good card. This island, this art is pretty good. I have to say, I don't really know why they did this, especially putting a basic land in the packs that you have to pay more for. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that. So, set boosters, -1 for that. But we'll see what else we get. Vermin Gorger, it's a fine card. Nested Shambler again. Arcus Acolyte, Outlast. Other creatures with a +1/+1 counter have Outlast. Reach, Lifelink. That just seems like they piled a bunch of abilities on a 2-mana card. Constable of the Realm. This card is actually pretty good. Renown 2, so you put 2 counters on it, and when a counter is put on it, so it works with the Dromedary as well. Exile 1 target non-land permanent until it leaves the battlefield. So if you can protect it, you can exile a lot. Why did I put the Squirrel Sovereign over here? Someone caught that, and someone was just shouting at me. Ren's Run Hydra. It's a Hydra. It does pretty cool things. Reinforces a cool mechanic. Monoskeleton. It's a Triskelion. Monoskelion. So it's a Triskelion, but it's 1. You can use 3 mana to burn someone for 1. Almost happened to me. Arcbound Shikari. Modular 2, put a counter on things, first strike. Again, they just piled a bunch of abilities on that. There we go, Esper Sentinel. That's a good card. I just like it, and it's good in Modern, and it's going to be really good in Commander, and there's just a lot of value from that one. I'm a fan. Angelic Curator. This card's pretty interesting. Very good in limited. Flying, protection from artifacts. There's so many artifacts in this set. The gloves that give artifact landwalk are super high pickup, in my opinion, in draft, and they're great in sealed. Galvanic Relay exile top card of your library during next turn. You may play it. Storm. And then a foil bridge. And a new Storm card. Not many red cards. This is one of the problem with set boosters. Magic minigame. Foraging Squirrels. Interesting. I don't really care about the minigames. But it's nice that they add some value to the packs. You know? Every little bit of value. I think set boosters are pretty neat. Also, looks like we got a card from the list there, because I don't see the token. So, that's going to be cool. This is a card. What is that? Step Through. Is that the bounce spell? I don't know. This Swamp. Pete Venter's Swamp. Very good. Piercing Rays. Forecast. Interesting. Synergizes with itself. So 5 mana exile a creature, basically. Good and limited. And, you know, if you end up with a 2 mana because the creature's already tapped, very good. Disciple of the Sun, also very good and limited. Rebuys your stuff. Lifelink, very relevant. Underrated ability. Filigree Attendant, good for artifact strategies. Vidalcan Infiltrator. That's a fine card. Brainstone, one of the first spoilers. It's like Brainstorm, but for 3 mana on an artifact. Aethersworn Sphinx. Affinity Flying Cascade. That is quite the card there. Affinity Flying Cascade. And for 9 mana. So you can cascade into lots of things with that guy. Okay. Oh ho ho ho. There we go. Isn't that great? All right, so we have a full art borderless, I suppose, is what they call it. Solitude, Flash, Lifelink, Swords to Plowshares when it enters the battlefield and evoke, exile a white card from your hand. So you can do this at instant speed. Instant speed, you can exile a white card and basically cast Swords to Plowshares in Modern. Very cool. Very good card. Probably good in Commander. Probably good in Vintage and Legacy as well. Good card. I am very... Oh, wow! We got Subtlety as well. That's not very subtle. That is not very subtle. Okay, so... Solitude goes over here. Subtlety, same thing, except choose up to one target creature or planeswalker spell. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of its library. So I believe because it's a specified spell, it means on the stack, but I'm not entirely sure. Actually, I should have looked that up. I didn't pay that much attention to this card, but I mean, it could mean on the battlefield as well. It could be on the stack or on the battlefield. That would be pretty cool. Evoke, exile a blue card from your hand. But if it does work on the stack, that means this is the counter to Grief, which is, of course, in the set. And is really good. It's Thoughtseize for free. Sea Drake with that wonderful Rebecca Gay art. When Sea Drake enters the battlefield, return 2 target lands you control there in your hand. So it's a 4/3 flyer for 3 with a downside. Well, I believe it was playable in Legacy at one point. Now it's probably just bad, but it's got good art. Marble Gargoyle in the old frame. Murktide Regent. Oh, we got a mythic. I don't like the sketch art not being full colored in. I don't like this border, honestly. But Murktide Regent is crazy. This card is absolutely absurd. I don't really know what they were thinking when they made it. Some of those are, like Urza's Saga, but Delve Flying enters the battlefield with the +1/+1 counter for each instant sorcery exile with it. So it only gets better the more you delve. Not only does it get the benefit from delve, it gets more counters. And whenever an instant sorcery card leaves your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So even after you cast it, if you delve more things, this thing gets bigger. This thing can be crazy. And Grizzly Fate. Oh, that's cool. I love Grizzly Fate. I don't remember if it's any money right now, or ever was any money, but being a pun is very great. Put 2 Greed Bear creatures tokens into play for 5 mana, pretty good. But if you have Threshold, you put 4 into play instead, and you can flash it back, so you can potentially put 8 if you already have 7 cards in your graveyard, and you can get up to enough mana. This thing is super fun to mess with. I love Grizzly Fate. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that was the pack. 3 mythics? 3 mythics and a list card. All right, I am happy. Now I just need some fetch lands. This is a Legak attack, or whatever they call this. Captured by Legax. They should have called it Legak attack. This Alan Pollock Plains. Flourishing Strike, your, standard destroy target creature with flying in green that you get these days. Bottle Golems, when it dies, gain life equal to its power. Pretty good. Loathsome Curator, Exploit, Menace. Menace is also relevant. You can kill things with it. Step Through. There we go. Okay, return 2 target creatures. So it is, but it's got Wizard Cycling. The return of Wizard Cycling. When in doubt, you Wizard Cycle. Pretty good. Ethereum Spinner. Whenever you get spell mana value 4 or greater, create a Thop. Pretty cool. Arcbound Whelp. I like this guy. He's a dragon that is an artifact. Modular 2 with fire breathing. And flying. So just pretty good all around there. And then this guy, Barbed Spike, a 2/1 flyer for 2 mana only, and you can equip it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry for the belch in the middle there, but got Profane Tutor. This card's probably not very good, but it is very cool. Richard Kane Ferguson art, dope. It is amazing. I believe, is that that looks like the Black Blade, honestly, but I don't know. But yeah, just a cool card. I like the flavor. I like the suspend. Them going back and doing these type of cards. The other round of classic suspend cards. Korean Ranger. Happy with this. This is going to make. These weren't super expensive, but they were kind of hard to find for Pauper Elves. So I'm glad to have a couple of those hanging around for Pauper Elves. Glimmer Bairn. Sacrifice a token. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Fine card. Whatever. Orcbound Mouser, we got a lifelink cat with modular, seems pretty cool. And minigame Winchester Draft, which is just a format that people play. That's just a thing. You can just play it with 2 people. What? Okay. That's just a thing. I don't really know how that's a minigame. Oh hey, the Timeless Witness token. I forgot that this was in the set. The Timeless Witness has that Eternalize, so you can Eternalize it as a black zombie. Interesting. And this is okay. The blue, the Izzet guy that we got earlier, the Jin. A nice mount on there. Tizera's Charger, card with Escape. Pretty cool. Sinister Starfish, a card with Surveil. It's that, whatever that starfish is that scries, but with Surveil. Echoing Return. Pretty good card. Return card, and all the cards with the same name that are in your graveyard to your hand. Very good in Relentless Rats or Persistent Petitioners. Vectus Gloves, here we go. Great in Limited because there are so many of those artifact lands running around. Equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has artifact Landwalk, so it can't be blocked. Again, in this format, really good. Healer's Flock, and this is a bad card. 3 cards stapled together. White, 3/3 flying lifelink. That's bad. Blossoming Calm, though, is not bad. You gain hexproof until your end of turn. That's a way to stifle storm stuff. It's a way to prevent your opponent from burning you to death. It's got rebound. Really good card, in my opinion, honestly. It could be a lot worse. Necrogoyf. This card's interesting. Power is equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player discards a card. Like I said, my opponent had this on the battlefield. I had a Braids, so we were sacrificing and discarding. Terrible game, but it was super fun. And then I got beat to death by a Necrogoyf because it turns out when that's happening, Necrogoyf wins. Cheater Spitter. At the beginning of your upkeep, you must sacrifice a token. If you do, put an Acorn counter on it. Squirrels get an +1/+1 for each Acorn counter. And green tap, make a squirrel. So this card just does it all. It literally fulfills itself. You can make other tokens to sacrifice to it. This card is it's probably unbeatable in Limited. Very good. Might see some play in Constructed, probably not. Milliken, glad to have this card back. Millicard, add colorless, and a good colorless mana dork. Always need that. Terminal Agony. So this is Terminate, destroy target creature for badness, but it is a sorcery, 2 black, red. Pretty interesting. I don't like the way that this all goes together. I think the formatting on this old bordered version is not that great. It's probably one of the worst old bordered ones I've seen so far, honestly. Some of them just don't work, and this one I think is one that doesn't work, unfortunately. And Terminate looks great in the old border, so that's even doubly unfortunate. Tizera's Charger, a foil one. Still don't have a lot of red cards. This keeps happening. I keep getting tons of black cards in my set boosters, and I'm upset. Like, what is going on here? I feel like I'm not getting a lot of like super interesting commons or uncommons. Oh, we have the Timeless Dragon that also has Eternalized, so we've got both our Eternalized tokens if we need those for anything. We have the Dam art here, which is very good. You've got like your standard kill spell art, and then your sort of Wrath of God style art up there. Got a Foil Swamp this time from Pete Vendors. I've got a regular art Glimmer Baron. Got an Orchard Strider. Make 2 food tokens, but it has basic land cycling. That card's really good in Limited as well if you can cast it, but also, it fixes. You're going to want to go like weird amounts of colors in this set, and green is always good for fixing. So shiny. Got a cute picture of a squirrel on it. Don't know how good it is. Tanglepool Bridge, one of those artifact lands. Slag Strider, Affinity, and you can sacrifice an artifact to deal 1 damage to any target. Seems fine. Capichrome, Flash Vigilance and Devour Artifact 1. That seems really cool. I like that set of abilities. That's funny. Power Depot, artifact land with modular 1, and add 1 mana of any color to cast artifacts, but it enters tapped. That's pretty cool. So you can cast your colored artifacts, of which there are a few in this set, but also it can get destroyed by that dragon, but also you can sacrifice it and it has modular. Pretty cool. Suspend, so this gives a card Suspend. Really good removal spell in blue. I don't like that they keep doing this because, Suspend, giving a card, like making a card suspended for 2 turns is, honestly, like in Modern, is a kill spell, essentially. Too long, way too long. I guess, it's an instant too, so you don't have to do it. If it was only 1, but it was a sorcery, then it would be useless. But it's an instant. You do it on their turn. So, God, that seems just super. Seems like it could be oppressive. Greed, classic card from Legends. Good card, love it. Blazing Root Walla. I'm super happy they printed this. Now I have, I have 2 Root Wallas, so it means I can have a total of 8 copies. But I'm probably going to have 6 in my Pauper deck that is made to. Uses Burning Inquiry and stuff to cycle through a bunch of cards and randomly discard, so I can madness this out for 0. Wave Sifter, pretty good limited card. Evoke, 3/2 flyer. It's a mole drifter, kind of. It investigates, so it makes clues, which aren't quite drawing cards, but it's pretty good, and you get your artifact synergies in this set as well with that, so pretty nice. Okay, Burb token. I do like that bird. This is one of the bridges. I don't know which one. Razor Tide Bridge, so I would assume that is white, blue. I don't know. We have a foil John Avon Forest. That looks quite nice. Landscape Colosse. So it's got basic land cycling and a downside for a 4/6. That doesn't seem great. Breathless Night. Very good card. Flying Lifelink. Whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it entered from a graveyard or you cast it from a graveyard, which is the same thing, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it's already a 2/2 Flying Lifelink for 3. Pretty good, and then it just gets upside. Goldmire Bridge. Upgraded Mirror Enforcer. We have a Mirror Enforcer with artifact land cycling for some reason, because we needed that. Pretty good for Pauper as well. It's still common. Late to Dinner. Love this card. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Create a food token. So it's a 4-mana sorcery speed reanimate with upside, which I think white should just get more of these. I think white should probably end up with a lot of the 3-mana reanimates. This is pretty much a black effect these days, and I want white to do something kind of interesting, and I think this is one of the ways that white can sort of play around with things a lot. Also, it's just got upside. So like, whereas Blood for Bones or whatever, you have to sacrifice a creature now. Late to Dinner just comes with the upside already built in. Discerning Taste. No one knows how to pronounce discerning. This is the food lady. Yeah, with the pixie. Okay. Look at top for cards in your library, put 1 into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Gain some life. Equal to a thing. Blessed Respite. There's a fog in this format. And you shuffle your graveyard into your library so you can't get milled. I don't know why this card's in here, but someone played it against me and I lost because of it, so I'm salty. Magus of the Bridge. This card's bad. Whenever a non-token creature is put into a graveyard from your battlefield, from the battlefield, create a 2/2 token. Whenever a creature is put, or non-token creature, whenever a creature is put into an opponent's graveyard, exile Magus of the Bridge. That's bad. This is a bad card. It's 4/4 for 3, but if it kills your opponent's creature, then it leaves, and it's not very good, in my opinion. Maybe fine in an aristocracy style thing. Enchantress's Presence, very good. Lovely Rebecca Gay art. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. It is an enchantment. It's on itself, so it triggers other Enchantress effects. I like it a lot. Step Through in the old border seems cool. And a Jewel-Eyed Cobra in foil. Still not a lot of red cards. I'm still annoyed. I mean, there's a lot of good cards. I've been getting a lot of good cards in this set. But I have not been getting a lot of red cards, and I feel like that's a skew from the set boosters, and it might make me not want to buy set boosters, but they're the ones that are available in pre-release. I want you to buy them. Squirrel token. This art is Thornlit Bridge. So is that black-green? Maybe? Black-white? Okay, we got an island from Danto Giancola. Looks pretty cool. Donato Giancola. Wave Sifter, again, regular art this time. Burden to Aerialist is a 3/1, makes a treasure whenever you sacrifice a token, so any token, not just the treasure, but the treasure can do that itself. Floodhound we've seen, Parcel Mirror. Arcbound Javelineer, nice callback like that one. Abiding Grace, this card's actually pretty good at the beginning of your end step. Either gain a life or return a creature with mana value 1 from your graveyard to the battlefield. Doesn't seem that good, but if you can, there's a lot of sort of white synergies you can get. Soul Sisters type stuff, of course. This would be very good in Commander or whatever, but also the sort of Teshar 1-mana white cards that sacrifice to provide an effect. Children of Corliss, this is very good with. Other things like that. I think that's got a lot of hidden synergies. Sanctum Weaver, add X mana of any color, where X is the number of enchantments you control. It is an enchantment, so as long as you control it, it's adding at least 1, potentially more mana. Very interesting. There we go. One of the fetches that I need, actually. I need only a Misty and a Scalding Tarn to complete my set, but I would love, of course, to get more of them. I opened 2 in my pre-release kit. Pre-release kits, I got a couple of them. I was in 2 of the pre-releases, so I got a Arid Mesa and the Whitey Blacky one, whatever that one is called. I forget. Anyway, that's a Misty Rainforest. That's super cool. That I believe is the most expensive one currently. It and Scalding Tarn sometimes swap places. I am very happy to get that, though. That's going to be amazing. I'm really glad the fetch lines are printed at rare in this set, so there's the opportunity I can get a couple more in this box still. They should always, if they're printed, they should always be rare. There's no reason for these to be mythic, and they're quite nice. They're really going to help out, with the price of them, because they fix mana so well. Flame Rift. Flame Rift deals 4 damage to each player. Fun card. I believe that used to be Legacy playable. Again, that's why it is now in this set, because they're trying to put some interesting old Legacy strategies into Modern. Chatterstorm. Is this just better? Empty the Warrens? Create a squirrel with Storm? Maybe. Batterbone in foil. Seems pretty good. Okay. Got a Goblin token here. Kind of want another list card too, just for the excitement of it. Probably doesn't even need to be a good one to get me excited. This is that Selesnya lady that we saw earlier, Arcus Acolyte. Got a Plains, Mist Vault Bridge, Dehada's Ploy. Draw 2 cards and discard a card, gain life equal to the number of cards you've discarded this turn, so it counts cards from before it. And Jumpstart, which allows you to discard a card and then cast it again. So pretty cool synergy there. Recalibrate, return target creature to its owner's hand. If you discard a card, draw a card. Pretty alright. Mental Journey, draw 3 cards, but with basic land cycling, which is kind of like drawing a card. Graceful Restoration, I don't remember seeing this one. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a counter on it. Return up to 2 creature cards with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, that's a really nice one for the 5 mana reanimate in this set. And that art by Robbie Trevino, oh, that just looks gorgeous. Those look like Ikoria comic book cards. Those are great. Oh, that looks great. Here's a nice win more card. Glorious Enforcer, 7 mana, 5/5 flying lifelink. At the beginning of each combat, if you have more life than your opponent, it gains double strike. That's a way to kill things. Scour the Desert. This is also a pretty cool white effect. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create birds, where birds is its toughness. Pretty good. Chef's Kiss, a red counterspell. Basically, gain control of the spell that targets a permanent. Copy it. Reselect targets at random. Sea Drake again. Pretty nice. A Floodhound in sketch art, okay. And a Tragic Fall. The reference on that one's pretty alright. I don't know. It doesn't feel as great to me. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's a pretty good limited removal spell. I mean, it's like, it's a pretty good limited removal spell. They have that ability without the Hellbent. Has been playable in Limited before. I believe they printed it in Battle Bond. It's like Last Gasp, maybe? Is that what it's called? It was in Ravnica as well. We do have a list card here. Great. Sojourner's Companion, of course. That is our friend, our Jiggly Salamander friend. Pete Vender's Swamp, very good. Foundry Helix, this card is pretty cool. Sacrifice a permanent. It will deal the 4 damage regardless, so that's pretty neat. Rustvale Bridge. That's our white-red one. Arcbound Slasher, Modular 4, and Riot. Again, sometimes it just mixing the mechanics is really cool. And the fact that they have a set where they can do that now and not have to really worry about it, I'm a big fan of. Tavern Scoundrel, no refunds, I cheated you fair and square. More coin flips. Tavern Swindler, but it's different, Arcbound Mouser. Got him again. Blossoming Calm again, pretty good. Ooh, Priest of Fell Rites in the sketch art. I'm not feeling this sketch art. Again, I'm not a big fan of this thing. It feels unfinished, honestly, and I'm not sure I like it as much. It feels really artificial too. Like the unfinishedness of the border seems really artificial. Pay 3 life, sacrifice, feast, Priest of Fell Rites. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery and unearth. So you can potentially do this 2 in a turn. Seems oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, that card's good. Also, Scalding Tarn. We got the Tarn. Like I said, predicted it. We got a Tarn. I'm happy. I've completed my set because I have the Verdant Catacombs from the Secret Lair Super Drop, which came just after the Ultimate Edition, so it had the Ultimate Edition land in it. So I have all of the fetch lands in the new border. So I want more. Let's get more in this box. Upheaval. Also, Scalding Tarn. Fun fact, I got a Scalding Tarn from a thrift store in like a box of cards that cost me like $10. It was like a near mint Scalding Tarn, so it was easily the most expensive card I had for forever, even after I started really collecting, because I got it like 5 or 6 years ago, at least more than that probably. But yeah, I happened to have had a Scalding Tarn from the time I started playing Magic, basically, which was fun when you find out that it's worth a lot of money. Upheaval, return all permanents to their owner's hands. It's a fun card, right? That's fun. Everyone's having fun. Faithless Salvaging, it's like Faithless Looting. This dude, except instead of going, let's wreck this place, this dude is like actually looking at a thing. Foundation Breaker in foil there. And Venerated Teacher, this is from Rise of the Eldrazi, I believe. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 level counters on each creature you control with level up. Wow. That is a very interesting card. Completely useless, but very interesting, and I love it. See, this is... Okay, cards like this are why I wish that the list was in every pack. They could give me a ton of cards like this, and I would love it. But the fact that I only get one every couple packs, or every, 4 or 5 packs, means that I'm really hoping it's a good card. And that not being a good card is kind of disappointing if I hadn't also got a Scalding Tarn in the same pack. This is the Thraben Inspector. Search the premises. The Thraben Inspector is can't catch a break. We have a foil island. Shattered Ego. Very interesting card. You can... It's like one of those enchantments that stops your creature's power, but then you can also put it on top of your opponent's library. Battle Plan, this card can be a house. Basic land cycling already, but at the beginning of combat, target creature gets +2/+0. Again, turns worthless creatures into smashing, attackers. Can just get through a ton of blockers. Crazy good card. Mind Collapse. If it's your turn, you may sacrifice a mountain rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Potentially having a free spell, especially if you're going to try and play Storm. You can tap the mountain for mana before you cast this. Pretty cool. Like it a lot. Lightning Spear. It's like an interesting lightning bolt. Creature gets +1/+1, has trample, and you can sacrifice to deal damage to any target. Pretty cool. Tireless Provisioner. I feel like this is almost better than Tireless Tracker. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a food or a treasure. So, this is like a Lotus Cobra. This is if Tireless Tracker was a Lotus Cobra. It doesn't buff itself, which Tireless Tracker is pretty good with the ability to get +1/+1 counters, but God, I feel like that card is still really good. Sanctuary Raptor. When it attacks, if you have 3 or more tokens. Interesting card, not that great. Evolve, Scurry Oak. This card can also really kill people. Whenever 1 or more counters are put on it, create a squirrel token. This card can be a house. There we go. This was one of my promo cards. Damn, which is a combination of just a removal spell and Wrath of God. Destroy target creature. Creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated. Or destroy each creature. A creature destroyed this way can't be regenerated. Very cool. I like it. It's technically a black card, I believe, in this set, but it's kind of an Orzhov card. It goes in Orzhov commander decks. Very versatile. Usually better than Wrath of God. Pretty good. Hunting Pack. They've reprinted this. Create a beast. 4/4 beast with Storm. Pretty cool. Their Kitchen Imp Flying Haste and Madness for 1. 2/2. It's probably not good enough for 4, but in the Madness deck, it's pretty good. And then Verdant Command. Choose 2. Oh, so it actually is a command. Choose 2. Target player creates 2 tapped squirrels. That's pretty good. Counter target loyalty ability of a planeswalker. Exile target card from graveyard. Target player gains 3 life. None of those are pretty impactful, but it's only 2 mana for an instant. I mean, 2 mana, this is, at worst, this is basically Raise the Alarm, right? Raise the Alarm plus. Why did they do that, actually? Never mind. Why isn't that a white card? Why isn't this a white... Anyway. All these abilities are white now that I look at them. Why isn't that a white card? Late to Dinner on a art card. Very good there. Another island, this time not foil. Tormod's Crypt Keeper, like the reference. Also a 3/2 with Vigilance for 3 generic mana is a house. The card is very good. You should not underestimate it. Blacksmith Skill again. Lens Flare removal spell. Steelfin Whale as our fun affinity card. Razor Tide Bridge. So it was a bluey whitey. Okay. Blessed Respite. There's the Fog. Voidmere. This card is very fun, in my opinion, and not fun for any of your opponents. Whenever a player casts a spell of no colored mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So it counters a bunch of artifact strategies, potentially. There are some decks in Commander this could probably just completely host. Some decks in Modern and Legacy. In Legacy and Vintage especially, it gets pretty and can host some cards. Okay, so I have the full set of fetches, which is I was going to open product until I got all 5 fetches from Modern Horizons 2, and I did. I have all 5 fetches. I am a happy boy. Okay, let's go ahead and okay. Oh man, this pack's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna set the fetches to the side in a second, but let's look at patriarch's bidding. Each player chooses a creature's type. Turn all creatures of the chosen type. So hopefully your opponent either doesn't have a graveyard or isn't playing tribal. Very good card. Odyssey was very interesting with cards like that. I really like those. I'm a fan. Prismatic Ending, also a pretty cool card. Exile target non-permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to the number of colors mana spent to cast a spell. So the thing is interesting. The X basically doesn't have anything to do with a text box, which is just an interesting way to go about doing this, because you can get over Chalice by casting it for like 6 or whatever. You can go under Chalice too if they put Chalice on. Although yeah, if they put Chalice on 1 or Chalice on 2, you can just cast this for 1 mana and exile the Chalice. All sorts of interesting stuff. Chalice of the Void is what I'm talking about. And then just some other interesting applications. Probably not the best. You know, there were some people saying this was one of the best removal spells around. Reed Duke, I believe. But it's still very good. I like it a lot. Mind Collapse in foil. Okay, so well, we're gonna fetch a sigh. I'm gonna faint. Okay, we've got fetch land. We've got fetch land. We've got fetch land. Oh man. My box contained all the good fetch lands, and I was worried here, man. I was worried for a second. I was like, oh man, you know, I might have to go back and buy another box. What if this doesn't work out? I'm hundreds of miles away from my LGS right now. Oh my gosh! So there's our fetch pile. 3 fetch lands. Who cares about tokens and art cards? We have 3 fetch lands, and we're only halfway through the box right now. Like I'm ecstatic. I am pleased. We have a list card in this one. Nice. Sanctifier and Vec. This is a Black Hoser, I believe. This wonderful plans. Very happy with that. Mount Velis Manticore. Being in combat, discard a card, deals damage to things. Silver Bluff Bridge. This card is house and limited, honestly. When it dies, deals 3 damage to any target. So you can kill it yourself if you pay 3 more mana into it. But also it's a blocker. It can kill your opponent's things. It can deal damage to your opponent. Very good, honestly. That card is super worth playing if you're anywhere close to those colors. This card is fine. 4/3 with Reach and Delirium. It can deal some damage. Not the best. Unholy Heat. Here's the red cards. It's Shock, but with Delirium to deal 6 damage to creatures or planeswalkers. It doesn't deal damage to face, so not as good. There's a regular art Squirrel Sovereign. Forgot that was an uncommon. Very good. Very regal-looking squirrel. Really cute still. Love it. Oh, that's... Why do I just... equate squirrels with white or lords with white? I don't know what's going on. Or Ravenous Squirrel. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact or creature, put a counter on it, which is already very good. And then you, as a built-in sacrifice ability, so 1 black-green, sacrifice an artifact or creature, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Lonus Cryptozoologist. Lonus. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, investigate, sacrifice some clues, reveal target opponent reveals X cards of the library. You can put a permanent with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Steal your opponent's things. Seems very good. Milliken again. Chatterstorm in the Old Border again. And a Kitchen Imp. Oh, yeah, we have a list card. Flying Haste, Madness. Yeah. All right. Balefire Liege. Oh, this card's pretty cool. I remember this card. Other red creatures get +1/+1. Other white creatures get +1/+1. Whenever you play a red spell, it deals 3 damage to target player. Whenever you play a white spell, gain 3 life. Just pretty neat. You know, these lieges, some of them are more playable than others. This is probably not the most playable one, but that's a super neat one. I like that a lot. I'm happy with that list card as well. I don't know if that one's super expensive. Some of the other lieges were pretty expensive because they haven't really been decently reprinted since Lorwyn. Magic minigame totally lost in translation. It's probably like Telephone. And, ooh, this is the dinosaur that's kind of got like a storm payoff thing. Thrasta Tempest's Roar by Rudy Vargas. We have a Rob Alexander Forest there. Chrome Courier, Ornithopter, Paradise Marble, Gargoyle, Fairgrounds Patrol, Soul of Migration. Terramorph, this card's interesting. It puts the land into play untapped. Basic only, but it puts it into play untapped with Rebound. So you can cast another spell that turn potentially, and then the next turn you still have 2 untapped basic lands that you got, so it's like Explosive Vegetation. So it's actually kind of better than Explosive Vegetation. Depends on if you want landfall triggers or what you're trying to do, but creeper into battlefield with 2 counters on it for each color mana spent to cast it.
Can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. That seems pretty nice. Bloodbraid Marauder, I considered playing this in Limited to try and get one of the the no mana cost spend spells off. I ended up not doing that, but can't block. It's a 3/1. It has Cascade as long as you have Delirium. Bone Shredder, love this card. Flying Echo. It's a Necrotal, but with Echo. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-artifact, non-black creature. It's not actually that great, but I love it a lot. Bone Shards. Again, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Very good card. Take off of some other cards. And then a foil, Fire and Ice. This is actually the third Fire and Ice I've opened from this set. I opened one in each of my pre-release kits. And it's actually, first time I didn't play it, second time I did. And it was pretty good, but I still lost the game. So, the games I played it. So, live and learn. Live, laugh, whatever, squirrel. That is one of the bridges. It's probably a black-blue one. Mistvault Bridge. Seems like a black-blue one. We have this island. Foul Watcher. It becomes a 2/2 if you have Delirium, but it does Surveil, which is pretty cool. Squirrel Sanctuary. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you can bring it back and it makes a token. Interesting synergies with that one for sure. Underworld Hermit. I don't remember this one. Oh, when enters battlefield, create a number of squirrels equal to your devotion to black. All these hermits hanging out with these squirrels. Legion Vanguard. Sacrifice another creature. Explore. It's already a bear. Pretty neat there. Chittering Augur. Love this card. Can't block for a 1/1 for 2 mana. Or Clattering Augur. Sorry. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card and lose a life. Already for 2 mana. That's a pretty good ability. And then you can return it from your graveyard to your hand for 4 mana. So you can keep sacrificing it and playing it again. So it's kind of like the Sanitarium Skeleton, but it draws you a card each time. Also, Timeless Witness, it is Eternal Witness for 4 mana, but it has Eternalize. Haha, that's a funny joke. Vile Entomber, it's Entomb, but on a 2/2 with Death Touch, so 3 more mana for a 2/2 with Death Touch. Pretty good, honestly. Not that great in Limited, but pretty good. Oh, another Mythic. This card's I actually like this card a lot. When Sermon's Emissary enters the battlefield, choose a card type. You and creatures you control have protection from the chosen card type. You can choose creature. Now, there's other things that you can do as well, but you can also, you can potentially lock your opponent out of the game if you can get clever with this. It does cost 7 mana. 7/7 flyer. It's not bad, in my opinion. Not modern playable, but most of these cards aren't modern playable, honestly. Riptide Laboratory. This card used to do a lot in Legacy with Vendilion Click and Snapcaster Mage, I am told. I didn't play Legacy, but maybe it'll do something in Modern, maybe not. Who knows? I think it's a fun card for sure. Ornithopter Paradise in the Old Border. That is quite nice. And a Glimmer Bairn in foil. Okay. Another pack. We're almost 2/3 of the way through. Not quite, even. We have another mini-game Winchester Draft. Again, that's just a thing that people do. This is a wave. Oh, is that the Subtlety? Yeah, Subtlety. Tony Sicuzlo Mountain? Piercing Rays. Sweep the Skies, Converge. So for if you have all 5 colors of mana and 2 blue, so all 4 other colors and 2 blue, you can make 5 Thopters because it's equal to the number of colors spent to cast it, which is pretty cool. Radiant Epicure. Each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of mana. So you can potentially spend all 5 colors to get a 5/5 and drain your opponent for 5. That seems pretty good. Prismatic Ending, also the Converge one. So this is the Converge pack. Kaleidos Scorch deals X damage to any target, where X is the number of colors. So deals 2 the first time, but potentially deals up to 2 the first time, and potentially can deal 5 the second time when you flash it back. Road to Ruin is a rampant growth and a thing that deals damage equal to the number of lands you control, so pretty cool. Strike it rich, create a treasure token, and you can flash it back. That's just a neat card. I just like it. Unmarked Grave. Search your library for a non-legendary card, put it into your graveyard, and then shuffle. So it's like Entomb, but it can't get Grizzlebrand. Most other cool cards. But it can do a lot. This card is very good. This card is potent, as one would say. Potent. Seal of Cleansing. It is disenchant, but it's on an enchantment. And you can't cast it at instant speed. Abundant Harvest. This one is the sketch art. Not really feeling it, especially since I actually do really like the art on Abundant Harvest. I love the kind of like the pastelliness of it. So kind of disappointed, honestly. And Dray Keeper. This is a squirrel one. It enters with 2 squirrels, and you can make squirrels get... you can pump squirrels. But it itself is an elf, notably. It does not pump itself. It only pumps the squirrels it comes with. Again, these crazies are just hanging out with all the squirrels. Why do squirrels hang out with crazy people in the Magic universe? Treasure token. We've got the Chitterfang. Chatterfang, that's what he's called. Swamp. Aramoeba. Gilt Blade Prowler. Pay a life, draw a card. Activate only if you've already discarded. World Weary. Enchanted creature gets -4/-4, but it's got land cycling. Torax Canticle. This card can be backbreaking. I had someone kick Torak and then cast this, and my hand ceased to exist. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a card from it. That player discards it. Then they discard a card at random. So it's really bad. Hymn to Torak. Cabal Initiate. That card can gain lifelink, and it can also be a 3/3 for 2 if you have Threshold, which is not Delirium. Threshold is different. Archfiend of Sorrows has Unearth, which is pretty neat. And it can kill your opponent's creatures. Pretty nice. Young Necromancer, when it enters the battlefield, exile 2 cards from your graveyard, and then you can return a creature. Seems pretty cool. Ooh, yes. Like this card a lot. Diamond Lion. So the reason I'm actually excited about this is a 2-mana, generic 2-mana 2/2. So I know that doesn't seem super exciting to a lot of people, because it's not super exciting to most people, but this is, I believe, the first bear that colorless has. Also, it's got an upside. Discard your hand, sacrifice it, add 3 mana of any color. Activate only as an instant, meaning that you cannot declare a spell as on the stack and then sacrifice this as a mana ability like you can with Lion's Eye Diamond, which means that you can cast a spell from your hand with Lion's Eye Diamond. This can only really be used to activate abilities or some other shenanigans. You need to be able to have the mana and then draw a card or something like that. They tried to fix it. But yeah, I think it's still a pretty cool card. Mog Salvage. If an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you can cast it without paying its mana cost, so that it's a shatter. Pretty good. Ravenous Squirrel, this time in the sketch art. Pretty cool. And the Power Depot in foil. Okay, we're going to be 2/3 of the way through here. This is the 2/3 pack. It's got a Quab in it for that cool Quab thing. We've got Murktide Regent, the actual regular art. An Alan Pollock Plains, Disciple of the Sun, Tizerus Charger, Sinister Starfish, Echoing Return, Landskipper Colos, Breathless Night Offering. At the beginning of each step, if you cast both a creature and a non-creature, create a clue, token, food, and create a clue, food, and treasure token. This card is very good. I would be very excited about it. Also, there's an Arid Mesa in this pack. Also, there's an Arid Mesa in this pack. Whoo! Okay. Whoo! All right. I'm sorry, I'm not excited. Arid Mesa, the least expensive of the fetch lands. Only going for about $20 now. Probably going to end up being less. Probably going to bottom out maybe even at 15. Still excited. Whenever you win a coin flip, put a lurk counter on chance encounter. A luck counter. At the beginning of your upkeep, if chance encounter has 10 or more luck counters, you win the game. So coin flip card. Seems nice. Coin flip deck in Modern really panning out. Probably better in Commander. Mind Collapse in Old Border. And then Soul of Migration in foil. Nice. Okay, so I need to swap batteries. We are 2/3 of the way through the box. We have 4 fetch lands. Can we get the hat trick? Probably not, but fingers crossed here. Fingers crossed. Okay, we will trundle on. We must continue. That's 2 packs. My hands are shaking. That's not true. I mean, I'm not like that excited about cards, but I am very excited. I am very happy with this box so far. That is the Nested Shambler. That's the weird zombie, gross zombie guy that makes squirrels. Man, that art, when you really look at that, ugh. You can see all the squirrels that are biting him and eating him. Gross. That John Avon Forest. Super. I do really like that John Avon Forest. Goldmire Bridge. Sojourner's Companion. Late to Dinner. Discerning Taste. Kitchen Imp. Spreading Insurrection. Gain control of target creature. So it's a untap it and gains haste. So this is a act of treason with Storm. Seems pretty cool. Captain Ripley Vance. Interesting card for sure. Of Vance's Blasting Cannons. Whenever you cast your 3rd spell each turn, which is a takeoff of Vance's Blasting Cannons, put a +1/+1 counter on it and deals damage equal to its power to any target. So this card is just better than Vance's Blasting Cannons, which was a rare, and it's an uncommon. So that's
That's the type of world we're living in now, which is great.
And everyone who said Ixalan was garbage is just being proved right, and I love Ixalan, so it's... anyway. Nixos Paragon, this card is fine. Whenever you gain life, you may put that many counters on each creature you control. Do this only once each turn. That's probably because it goes infinite really easily with some card, like immediately. Maybe even in this set, might go infinite with something. Mishra's Factory, this is great. I'm glad this is in Modern. Now I can sort of put it in an Affinity-style deck. Becomes a 2/2 assembly worker. I mean, this card's just good, solid value. It's a pretty fair card, honestly. I'm really happy with that. It's a land. Why am I doing that? I should be putting it in the land spot. Blacksmith's Skill, again, still in the old border. Captured by Legax, enchant creature, can't attack or block, and you support too, so you can passivism your opponent's things and buff up your things. Pretty good. Okay. Alrighty. All right, all right. Well, I got a Mirrodin uncommon. It's not that. It's an uncommon. It's just an uncommon. I got an, it's fine. Okay, all right, yep. I'm sorry, I got an Aether Vial. I got an Aether Vial. I know that's not even the most expensive card I've opened, probably. How much are they? Are they $30 still? Are they $50? I don't know. Oh, man. All right, well, that's an Aether Vial. That's an Aether Vial. Does it show up in the uncommon slot? Anyway, for the list, I don't know. The list has rarity, doesn't it? Oh boy. Okay, we got another list card in this one. Whoa. Okay. We're just on fire. Yavimaya. Ooh, the Yavimaya is signed. I don't know why I was so excited about Yavimaya, but it is signed by, what's his name? Her name. Sorry, Sarah Finnegan. I apologize, Sarah. Lose focus, replicate, counter spell unless the controller pays 2. So this is like slightly better Mana Leak, right? For Modern? That's fine. Mana Leak was too good for Standard or whatever. Phantasmal Dreadmaw. I like the idea of this card. I do not like this. That was perhaps the most terrifying thing I thought I almost saw flavor text. Something about that rubs me the wrong way, just a little bit, and I don't really understand why. Urban Daggertooth, Enrage, whenever it enters, whenever it's dealt damage, Proliferate. I really like Enrage as a mechanic. Vigilance is pretty good. This card's just solid all around. Smell, Fear, Proliferate, and then target creature fights a creature. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Specifically, your opponent can't redirect it to your creatures, which is weird to me, but whatever. Dusk Shell Crawler, another Ravnica card, or a card that is set on Ravnica. Put a counter on a creature. Each creature controlled with a +++ counter has trample. Necromancer's Familiar. Hellbent has a lifelink as long as you have no cards in hand. Discard a card. It gains indestructible until end of turn, and tap it. Oh, great, wonderful. I'm glad we keep doing that. Sylvan Anthem. Green creatures you control get +1/+1. Why isn't this a white card? Whenever a green creature enters the battlefield and you control, scry one. Why isn't that a white? Okay. This card was $100. Okay. All right. I saw the card behind it too. This card was $100 when I bought this box. It's gone down quite a bit. It's a 2-1 for 1. That's all it is. It's good. It's got good abilities, but it's a 2-1 for 1. It's not going to maintain its price. It's probably going to be $20, I think, at some point. It's going to be expensive because it's got a good ability. It's good for Commander. It's good for Modern. It's good for Cube. It's probably good for Vintage and Legacy, depending on the deck you're in. It's not great for Red Deck wins though. It's a really weird ability, but a lot of people wanted it. So. This card was very expensive. It is still very expensive. I am happy. And we got a Cabal Coffers. This card was $100 before the set was released. Now it's down to a more reasonable, like 30 or 40, because so much of this set is in circulation. But this card's going to creep back up. It will continue to rebound because of Commander demand. This card is actually just really good in Commander. It was just reprinted Orbarg, so the combo is probably as cheap as you're going to get for a long time. I would recommend going out and getting it, or having the luck of the Golden Gods, like me, in this particular instance. Gargadon, pretty good card. Not really. It's a common with Trample and Suspend. It's actually fun. It's good in Limited. It is good in Limited. Guardian Kieran, whenever another creature you control dies, put a counter on it. Again, 2 or 3 flyer for 4 is also not bad in Limited. Bloodied Ghost. I've never heard of this card. It's from Lorwyn, though. That makes sense. Flying. Bloodied Ghost comes into play with a -1/-1 counter on it. So it's a Windrake. It's a Windrake in Orzhov. But if you have some sort of synergy with -1/-1 counters. Okay, that was cool. Okay, this box. There's another list card in this pack. There's another list card. Okay. I mean, it could be a bad one. This is the treasure one. Strike it rich. Yep. Strike it rich, like I have done with this box. Tragic Full, Hellmongrel, Drossfort Bridge, Terminal Agony. I wonder what the theme is. Thraben Watcher, Flying Vigilance, other non-token creatures. You control it, +1/+1, and Vigilance. That's pretty good. For an uncommon angel, like, that's pretty nice. Probably Commander playable. Probably not Modern playable, because it's 4 mana. 4 mana for a thing that's like not good enough to win on its own. Multi-kicker, Flametongue Yearling, by the way, white, red for a 2/1 multi-kicker 2, so it enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counter, deals damage equal to its power to target creature. So not quite a Flametongue Kavu if you kick it, but still pretty interesting. Also, it has to target a creature like the original Flametongue Kavu, so if you only have this creature, it has to kill itself. I like that downside a lot. Flame Blitz, an actual way to kill Planeswalkers at the beginning of each end step. Or your instep, sorry. Flame Blitz deals 5 damage to target Planeswalker. And it has cycling, too, if you don't need it, so it's pretty good. And this dude is a Planeswalker. Curse Guy is a Planeswalker. There's a Necroglyph. We had that in the old border earlier. There is it in its regular thing with the Madness reminder text. Quirion Ranger, again, very happy. I now have a full playset of these. Combine Chrysalis in the sketch art. Creature tokens you control have flying, and you can sacrifice a token to make a 4/4 beast, which will have flying, of course, because it's on the battlefield. Bottle Golems in foil, and Chemister's Insight. That's not a super exciting list card, but it's another list card. It's a cool card. I like it. The list isn't in limited, unfortunately. If it was, that would be a fun limited thing to get. Be able to get one of those. In this set. Oh, this is the Enchantress, Sithis Harvest's Hand, Pete Ventures Swamp, Banner Hide Cursehawk, which has Reinforce and Scavenge and Trample. Like, this card is just good. It's a 4 mana 4/4 with Trample, and then it's got other things that it can do. I lost a game because I couldn't scavenge this for the win onto my Protection from Artifacts creature. Guardian Kieran, pretty cool. Deepwood Denizen, Vigilance. Draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each +1/+1 counter on creatures you control. Interesting. That's a very strange card. Thornlight Bridge. Oh, I see what I got at the back there. Captured by Legax. In the regular art this time. Or was it just foil last time? I don't remember. Rakdos Headliner. I really like this card. Black-red for a 3/3 with haste. Echo, you have to discard a card. So you can sacrifice it or discard another card. If it's Madness, you're just golden. It's a great card. The regular Blazing Rootwalla, the Blazing Rootwalla in the regular border with the Madness reminder text there. And then Piru the Volatile, the life partner of Chromium. Is it a he or a she? I don't remember. Not a great card, because it has the old Elder Dragon templating, but a really interesting card, really cool. I think it's fun for Commander. Flying lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay mana, but when it does, it deals 7 damage to your legendary creature, so it actually has a benefit, unlike the old Elder Dragon. So if you end up having to sacrifice it, or you want to sacrifice it, ends up being a good thing sometimes. Greed. Again, it's an uncommon, though. Phantasmal Dreadmaw in the sketch art. You have the art direction here using the original art of Colossal Dreadmaw's inspiration, designed an illusory version of the creature. And Smell Fear, this time in foil. Getting on the last 5 or so packs here. I think we're pretty good. There's some more stuff that we can pull for sure. We can definitely do better, but we're still doing pretty good. Necroglyph, This Mountain by Heather Hudson, which is pretty good. Fodder Tosser. I said Shock is playable, and everyone in the shop laughed at me, but this actually won the first pre-release. Essentially, that and Carnstruct from Urza's Saga, so I'm kind of lying, but Fodder Tosser did do some damage, did do some board controlling in that game. It was not me. I was not involved in that game at all. It was 2 much better players. I was middle of the road. I got almost exactly 50-50 in both pre-releases. But discard a card deals 2 damage to a creature. Planeswalker. This card is bad, notably. By the way, all that talk about it, if that card's bad. Skokophos Reaver, as long as it's your turn, it gets +2/+0 and has Madness. So, I mean, that card is really good. It's a 4/3, essentially, for 2 sometimes. Vanishing the last claw, discard a card. Creatures gain haste. That's just a bear with upside. Revolutionist, this card's also pretty good. Even if you don't cast it for Madness, which is 4, that's great. But 6 mana, you get an instant or sorcery back in Limited is pretty good if you're an instant or sorcery-based deck. So the Madness or the Izzet stuff probably likes that a lot. Play Essence, it's a murder, but it exiles for some reason. I don't know what. Again, this should be white. This card should be white. Okay, whatever. Why do I keep saying that? But it's like, it's a white effect. If white had something cool it was doing on its own, that's when I would say stop saying that other cards need to be white. By the way, Wizards of the Coast, if you're watching this, that's when I would stop saying cards need to be white. I mean, very good limited removal. Some people are saying this is unplayable in other formats. I think it's probably playable in Modern. It's not great in Modern because it's 3 mana and it's sorcery speed, but people give too much weight to instants, in my opinion, in a lot of cases. Sudden Edict, this card is very good. Split second, target player who sacrifices a creature is an instant. Can be very good. That card can be pretty cool. Break the Ice, interesting. Destroy target land that is snow or could produce colorless. So it's Tron or Snow Hate. And you can overload for 4 black, so you can destroy a bunch of lands if you really want to. If, you know, that suits your fancy. Rashidun Dockhand, it is Rashidun Port on a 1/2 Merfolk. The Merfolk also has Island Walk for some reason. Also, Rashidun Port taps for mana if you wanted to. This card's weird. I don't know that it's very good. I don't know how to evaluate that card. Extruder is fun. It's essentially an 8 mana 4/3 that has the Arcbound Ravager effect. So when they made this one, I don't know why they thought Arcbound Ravager was an okay card to print. Lens Flare, Affinity for Artifacts, the sketch art. It's cute. I'm not a big fan. Flame Blitz in foil this time. We're getting our red cards, I guess. We're still getting a lot. Why are we getting a lot of Abzan? We're getting a lot of black. There's another list in here. That's pretty nice. But yeah, we got so much black. I keep getting so much black. But I have a lot of Abzan, too. This is Grist, the Hunger Tide, the planeswalker that is an insect in all other zones. So I was asking about how that works with a myriad effects when compared to, say, Gideon Blackblade, who is a creature when he's on the battlefield. So, and it's your turn. So the opposite of Grist, essentially. And there was an effect, I don't remember what it was, but it affected creatures like when they were being, like, could you give it Riot? Could you give Grist Riot? Essentially, with one of those spells that gives a thing Riot, or like Domery, I think. Yeah, could you give Grist Riot because it's a creature, then it somehow enters with a +1/+1 counter for no reason, or haste for no reason. Knighted Myr, I haven't actually seen this card yet. Adapt 1, so 3 mana, you can put a counter on it at any time you want. Whenever one or more counters are put on it, it gains double strike until end of turn. Very good with that camel from earlier. Also very good with Myr Scrappling, sacrifice to put a counter on a creature. So you can adapt this. You can only adapt it once, but then you can keep putting counters on it with other means, and it keeps getting double strike and bigger, and it can be pretty good. Unbound Potential, another way to put counters on things. That's the theme for this one. Put counters on 2 creatures, proliferate. We got an Entwine cost in there. Break Ties, it's got Reinforce 1, so this essentially is a 4-modal spell, exile card, destroy target artifact, and destroy target enchantment for 3 mana, or you can put a counter on a thing for 1. And actually that's an activated ability, so it's much harder to counter, usually. Arcbound Prototype, just a 2 mana 2/2, but it's got modular. But it's white, so that's your upside and your downside there. Foundry Helix, pretty interesting. Still like that spell a lot. Feast of Sanity, I don't remember this card. Whenever you discard a card, Feast of Sanity deals 1 damage to any target and you gain 1 life. That's pretty cool. Gaia's Will. This was the card I was trying to cascade into with that red card. I opened this on a pre-release, and it's probably bad. Also, in Constructed, this card could be broken in half. This card is cracked. Suspend 4 for 1 green, but you probably want to As Foretold it, or find Cascade into it, or find some way to cast it for free. You can't actually put it on the stack on its own, because it doesn't have a mana value. So you can't say, like, I'm going to cast this and then find some clever way to do it, or if the thing lets you cast a spell for free from your hand, the thing has to pick it out from a zone. Like As Foretold lets you do that. And so does, like I said, Cascade, because Cascade reveals the card and says you may cast the card. Anyway, this card says you may play lands and cast spells from your graveyard. So it says Yawgmoth's Will, essentially. If a card would be put into the graveyard, exile it that turn. Very potent. I think that might be a mistake. Might be busted. But we'll see. You know, I'm always wrong. I'm always wrong. Anyway. Great 4/4 Beast with Storm. Jade Avenger. Bushido 2. This is a playable Bushido card. Doesn't suck. Show a Frog Samurai who is a master swordsman, skilled and agile. He stands about 4 feet tall and wields a daisho. See reference. Vile Entomber with the old art and foil. Violent Tumor enters the battlefield, put a card into the graveyard. Seems pretty good. I do like this one. I think this one fits the old border very well, and the foiling is quite nice on that one. There are some of these that I really do like. So, Llanowar Reborn. I like this one. In the spirit of Modern Horizons. Enters the battlefield tapped. It's got Graft 1. Like that land with modular 1. I like it when they put fun mechanics on lands. Especially ones that you wouldn't expect. Burb. Graft and modular are basically the same, right? Ooh, Rob Alexander, is it? Yeah, Rob Alexander, Razortide Bridge signed. That's neat. I like that one. Another island that's pretty neat. Faithless Salvaging, Arcbound Tracker, Menace Modular 2. Whenever you cast a spell other than your first spell, so you want to cast a bunch of spells, like a storm-ish, then you can put a counter on it. That can be really good. It's got Menace. I mean, the 3/2 Menace, or 2/2 Menace for 3 is already pretty good. Galvanic Relay, that's the card that lets you cast cards from the top of your library, maybe with Storm. Gargadon, still okay for a common. Suspend 4 for 1 and a red. Gets you a 7/5 with Trample. Rift Sower, you really want to suspend this on turn 1. Helps you fix mana in this format. Just a mana dork with Suspend. Notably, Suspend, when it comes off Suspend, it has haste, so you can tap it that turn. Very good. Slag Woods Bridge. Tide Shaper, Kicker. When it enters the battlefield, a land becomes an island for as long as you have it, and it gets +1/+1 as long as opponent controls an island. So if you kick it, it's basically a 2/2 for 2 that makes a thing an island. So it gives you Island Walk. Gives your merfolks with Island Walk unblockable, essentially. Very good stuff. Glimpse of Tomorrow. Suspend 3. Shuffle all permanents you own to your library. Reveal that many cards from top of your library. Put all non-aura permanent cards in the battlefield, and then put the auras. So the auras don't just enter the battlefield and then die because they're not attached to anything. Within its own ability. And then so this is great with tokens because you can just put a bunch of stuff from your library onto the battlefield. Hopefully, if you can make a bunch of tokens. Anyway, that card might also be broken. Who knows? The suspend cards from the set are pretty good. Braids, Banded Commander, so not worth a whole lot. Probably not going to make a splash in Modern. Pox probably isn't really a deck. It's 4 mana. It might be a little bit too slow, but who knows? Maybe it could be really good. Maybe it could, be grindy enough to beat some of the aggro decks and Tron still, and some other stuff. So that's nice. World Weary in the old. Or not in the sketch frame, and then a foil Arcbound prototype. 2 more packs left. Oh boy! All right, we have an elemental token. 5/3. That's from Titania. That means I'm going to get Titania in this pack, right? That's how that works. This is the Radiant Epicure, the Vampire Lady, a Mountain. A Rustveil Bridge, an Arcbound Slasher, another Tavern Swindler, Mouser, Mystic Reduction. At the beginning of your upkeep, scry 1, and whenever you discard a card, opponent mills 2 cards. That seems really good. Ghost Lit Drifter, flying, another creature gains flying. Channel, discard it. X target creatures gain flying. That seems pretty cool. That's from Kamigawa, right? There's the koi fish and it's got the hat. Yeah. That's neat. Sanctifier Invec. We have the art card for this earlier. It is it's protection from black and red. Whenever it enters the battlefield, exile all black and red cards from graveyards. So if they had flashback or anything shenanigans, if black or red permanent spell or card put on the battlefield, put it into exile instead. Pretty brutal against black and red. Honestly, just like the truest of hate cards. Ooh, okay, we got a good pack here. Thrasta Tempest's Roar. This spell costs 3 less to cast for each other spell you cast this turn, so it's kind of like a storm payoff. You have to cast at least 4 spells and you can get it for 2 mana. 3 spells, you can get it for 3. Trample and Haste. Trample over Planeswalkers, so if it deals excess damage to a Planeswalker, it still deals damage to the player. And it has hexproof as long as it enters the battlefield this turn, so it has hexproof the first turn it enters the battlefield when it attacks. This card seems crazy. It's a 7/7. Seems really good, in my opinion. Again, I'm bad at evaluating cards. Gorilla Shaman. This card was very good for blowing up Moxen, because you could pay 1 mana and 0/0 and destroy all the Moxen, and it destroys artifact lands as well. If your opponent happens to be playing artifact lands, I don't know what formats they're not banned in. That this is also legal in. I know that I take that back. Pauper, right? Is this a pop? Is this a I thought this might have been a common. It could have been an uncommon from Ice Age. Anyway, it's a good tech card in older formats for sure. Or at least it was. I think it might still be played. Blossoming Calm in the sketch art. And Murktide Regent in foil. In foil. That card is still absurd. I don't know what the actual price of it. Okay, we got a list card in the last pack. Can we get a God pack? We got some pretty good packs. Can we get the absolute nut? This is Grief. Very, very nice looking card. Also got a very nice swamp there. Goblin Anarchomancer. It's anarchy, but mancering. Each spell you cast that's red or green costs 1 less to cast. Very interesting. I like it a lot. Jade Avenger, Bushido 2. Again, that's the regular one, the frog. Froggy fighter at the gate. Draw your sword and meet your fate. Kamigawa is a terrifying place. Abundant Harvest, like I said, I really like this art. I like how nice and pastel and calming it is. Chatterstorm, make a squirrel. More squirrel, Stuffed Dray Keeper this time. Just a regular version. Liquid Metal Torque. It's a 2-mana mana rock, which is honestly pretty good. Playable in Commander. The friggin' planar chaos, or the plane chase thing, whatever that one was that's 2 mana, was up to like $5 or $6 at some point. Might still be. And then target online permanent becomes an artifact. So you could, if you want to blow up stuff with your disenchants, there you go. Oh, we got a really bad soul ring. Slow ring. Suspend 3 for 1 mana. It is a soul ring. It's probably not great. Commander, it's not particularly useful unless you can cast it for free somehow or bring it back from the graveyard or something. Modern, probably too slow for that as well. It's a fine card. It's a neat one. Like the same thing as the Mox Tantalite. It's neat, but not super impactful. Rise and Shine. Target non-creature artifact you control becomes a 0/0 artifact creature. Put 4+1/+1 counters on it. You can overload it so that each non-creature artifact you control becomes a creature. That is also pretty crazy. My opponent played this on one of the artifact lands on turn 2, and I died because my opponent had an indestructible 4/4. So it beat me to death. It was very good. Fire Ice, again, there. Goblin Arcanomancer in the old border. Goblin Arcanomancer foil. There were 3 Goblin Arcanomancers in this set. Anarchomancers, sorry. There were 3 Goblin Anarchomancers in this set. In this pack. I had 0, and then I had 3 in this pack. Also, Always Watching is our list card. Non-token creatures you can control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. That's a pretty okay card, honestly. I am not upset with that one. Okay. Okay, so let's do the tally. Let's do the crazy stuff that we have, okay? Let's take a look. Obviously, we have our lands there. I think that card's pretty good. I don't know how much it is right now. We're not going to take every rare out. Squirrel Sovereign. I can't wait to have someone freak out over a text message about this. I don't think there was any Glimpse of Tomorrow is pretty cool. But I don't think there's anything super exciting. Oh yeah, Ragavan. What am I talking about? What am I even talking about? I got a Ragavan. What? I'd already forgotten. This box has been so good to me. Okay, come on. Black cards. Got a Braids. I don't know if Violent Tumor is worth anything. Seems pretty good, though. I'm going to count it as among one of the better cards that I got because I think it is, and I think it's really cool. Damn is pretty nice. We need to count the 2 Murktide Regents that we got. Rashidun Dockhand is alright, but not super expensive as I recall. Upheaval is unfortunately not banned anywhere that it would be super playable. Yeah, another Murktide Regent. A Subtlety. I don't know how much Subtlety is right now because it's probably not. It's probably like the middle of the road. I think Grief and the other one. Grief and the white one. Solitude are the best, and then the green one is the worst, and then blue and red are kind of in the middle. So let's see. Not a lot of good white cards, but there's a Solitude. Esper Sentinel is actually pretty up there too. That happened like super early in the box. My God. Any crazy multicolor cards? Peru's nice. I don't think he's super expensive. Yeah. Bunch of commons and uncommons. Shardless Agent. Shardless Agent gonna go up. I don't know how much mana or how much money Shardless Agent's gonna be. Not that I care that much. I mean, usually money is correlated to good cards. I forgot about that Aether Vial too. Oh my god. Voidmir's nice. You know why I forgot about that Aether Vial? Because it's not in the set. They didn't reprint Aether Vial into Modern again. For some reason. Llanowar Reborn is interesting. Riptide Laboratory? They used to be worth a lot of money. It's not. They just reprinted it in Double Masters, didn't they? Is that when that happened? In Yavi Maya. Okay, guys. I am absolutely blown away by this box. One of the best boxes I've opened, and it was going to be a good set regardless. It was Modern Horizons 2. These cards were these cards are good. But we have a bunch of very playable Modern cards here, in my opinion. 2 Murktide Regents. Are they both foil? Did I get... Yeah, they're both foil. 2 foil Murktide Regents, 1 in sketch art. Vile Entomber, Ragavan. Oh man, this guy. And then Cabal Coffers, Arid Mesa, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, and Verdant Catacombs. 4 of the 5 fetch lands. No Marsh Flats. There we go. I remember the name of it finally enough to say it at the end. No Marsh Flats, but that is an astounding pull. I am very happy. And I'm just very happy about the set in general, kind of. It's super expensive. That's my one qualm with it, that they did start charging a premium for it, but they did at least they put better cards in it. It's easier to get good cards from this set than it is to get from other sets that you'll have to pay a lot more for on the secondary market. Can't wait for this set to go up to like $500 a box or something on the secondary market. It's going to be insane in a year. So if you need to pick up stuff, buy singles now. If you need singles, for sure, buy the singles. And then if you can buy a box, go ahead and buy a box. I think it's probably going to end up being worth it. It might not be as good as this. I'm going to warn you. A lot of the ones at the store weren't as good as this. So I have firsthand experience of like 10 other boxes that were opened at least. So be wary. But that was super fun. Thank you for watching if you have. I hope that was entertaining. I hope you were as excited as I was. And yeah, catch you next time. Bye.